won in Brooklyn, they want a title too. And Kyrie Irving, he filed his paperwork to pick up his $36.5 million option for the Nets next season, sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Now, earlier this week, there was all that drama surrounding Kyrie after he released that list of teams that he would consider it a trade. Here they are: Lakers, Clippers, Knicks, Heat, Mavericks, and the Sixers. But some very interesting destinations, obviously, on that list, like the Knicks. And it'd be interesting to see him play for the Sixers after Harden reportedly wanted out because of Kyrie. It's a whole thing. But anyway, Wendy, when we look at that list, what's the reaction around the league? What was that reaction when they saw this list?
Cool.
Cool. Okay. That's it?
I mean,
not fired up. We're going to get Kyrie in-house.
I know that, like, especially in other sports, you know, I mean, by the way, there are role players in the NBA who want to be traded and they provide lists. It happens. Mm-hmm. And it's always an interesting thing. And a lot of times when a team is listed on a list, it's like, oh, this is interesting. Let's have a discussion. By the way, those teams did have discussions. Some of those teams saw this coming in the last month and had discussions. Do we want Kyrie Irving here? But the demand for Kyrie Irving on a long-term contract just doesn't exist right now.
Look, this goes back to what Adrian Wojnarowski reported the other day, right? There's this list of teams out there. Hey, Kyrie, you can go seek out a sign and trade. There was one team that was willing to do it. That was the Lakers. Why? Because the Lakers had no other option.
Do you know why they let him go seek a sign and trade?
Why?
Because they knew there wasn't going to be one.
So they called his bluff.
Yes. And Kyrie took the cards and said, fold.
Kyrie wanted a long-term extension in Brooklyn. This list was designed to try to get him a long-term extension in Brooklyn. It didn't work. He opted into his deal. He's now on a one-year contract in Brooklyn.
So this was nothing like the Russell Wilson list that he put out in football.
Where it
was like, oh my God, Russell Wilson.
The Seahawks wanted Russell Wilson on their team, and other teams wanted Russell Wilson on their team. This is a situation where Kyrie looked around and didn't have a chair except for his option, which he was contractually able to pick up.
He folded his cards, but the game isn't over. So more hands are going to be played, and so we'll see how those develop.
So speaking of that, hands that need to be played, we know what Kyrie, at least we think we know what Kyrie wants, which is to get a max deal somewhere, preferably with the Nets. What must he do to get a max deal from the Nets?
Well, it would help to be on the court and play. I mean, that would be the first step.
That would be step one.
No, but I mean, is it like 70 games and a title or anything short of a title won't make it happen? That kind of thing.
I think, you know, as I've said many times, you can only answer Kyrie questions with maybe. And that goes with this too. But if Kyrie Irving is on the court this season and plays well for the Nets, I mean, remember, he was an all-NBA guard 2 years ago, right? If the Nets make a deep playoff run, if Kyrie's on the court for a bunch of games, if they play well, if everything looks great, sure, something could change in the future. He could get a long-term deal for him. I'm not ruling it out.
How things had changed with James Harden over the course of 9 months. We could see things change. Kyrie was a 50-40-90 player 2 years ago. He was almost a 50-40-90 player this last year, but he only played, you know, not as many games. If he has a good year and the Nets, you know, profit as an organization, I think they could see it. But I think the days of Kyrie Irving getting a 4-year contract offer, which is what he was looking for here, I would be surprised if he ever gets that again from anybody.
Wow, no matter what, title even.
I mean, I'm not saying no matter what to anything because we're in the NBA. But again, step one with James Harden was helping the Sixers be in a better position to win. Step one for Kyrie Irving will be getting on the court in October.
Take it one step at a time.
That's all you can do.
And we'll see how it works out for these Nets.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.